This 2002 Monte Carlo SS has engine vibration problems. We're going to fix it. Now, previously in the Snow Family Racing Garage, I've replaced the passenger side motor mount, but this time we're going to take care of the driver's side, which is technically a transmission mount, as well as the two upper mounts on the core support. Let's dig in and get this thing done. First step, jack it up and get that wheel off. So these are the upper mounts that we're going to be changing. You got one over here and one over here. Now, it's important to know that the upper mount consists of two pieces. You have this one on the core support side and this one that's kind of dog bone shaped. Now, what I learned from doing the other motor mount was to take that dog bone off and lift the engine up that way. We're going to do the same thing, except we're going to go this way. So this dog bone is going to come off first. And then we'll move over to the transmission mount. Next up is this plastic panel here. It's held in by some of those push clips. That Phillips head actually lies. I've got a couple of flat blade screwdrivers. We're just going to kind of pop them out. And with that panel removed, this is the mount that we're going to be replacing. The other side was pretty rough. This one's got 100 and some odd thousand miles on it. As you can see, there's 15 millimeter nuts on top, and I promise there's two underneath that are hard to get to because the control arm is in the way. So you have to use a box end wrench. If you got a ratchet variety, probably going to use that. So let's get these guys pop free. I got the nuts removed. I'm going to go grab something like a big flat 2x6 or 2x8 to put under the oil pan or transmission pan so I can lift this thing up. Alternatively, you could use an engine hoist and lift from above. Use what you got, guys. Just go below. Be careful of your transmission and oil pan. You don't want to break those. Also, as I'm here wrenching the nuts off, I can see that there's all sorts of weather checking and stuff along this mount, giving me indications that it's probably just wore out from age. So let's get this taken out. And with the chunk of wood under there, you can see it comes right out. I can reach in there, wiggle it straight out, throw it on the floor. Now, just for reference sake, that's about how far I have the engine and transmission jacked up. I'm going to go find, also, looks like I disconnected the air inlet. If yours gets disconnected on accident, make sure you hook that back up. It's going to run a little funny if you don't. I'm going to grab the new parts, link in the description to where I got them at Rock Auto. You can get your own. Let's get these things swapped in. Always take a moment and compare the new part to the old part to make sure everything looks like it's going to fit. Yeah, those look like they're about right down there, and those look like they're about right. Let's get this guy set in place. And there, with some gentle, mild persuasion, everything's lined back up. I'm going to throw the nuts back on that, get that tightened down, and then we'll move to the top side after I put the splash guard back on. With the bottom side complete, we're going to turn our attention to the top side. Now you've got the core support, and I'm going to call it the dog bone. The dog bone, all the fasteners are 15 millimeter. On the core support side, they're 13 millimeter, so grab your tools. Basically, these are just going to get zipped off. There's two on top. There's two that hide into some recesses here on the core support, and then you got the 15 millimeter bolts on the dog bone. Let's get these off. This is going pretty quick. So when the upper mounts are done, and I think those took a little bit longer than doing the lower mounts, not because they were harder, just because there was more little fiddly, more fasteners, more getting the engine rocked back and forth correctly, but they're done. And I also realized I totally screwed up. I had my impact on low. I tell you, it makes a huge difference when you're trying to knock things loose or get them tight. It doesn't have much power on low, but it would be delicate. On high, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So, I'm going to keep that in mind going forward. So, guys, I'm going to drop links in the description for all the parts that I used, tools that I've got. Go ahead and check those out. This is not a hard job, and I think realistically, I'm into it less than an hour of actual wrench time. So this is something you can do in your driveway. I'm not using any special tools. You can do it with hand tools. You can do it with handheld electric cordless impacts. Whatever you got, guys, this isn't that particularly hard. Anyways, thanks for watching. We will catch you later.